They said the ground in Enugu never forgets the dead, especially those who were buried angry, and when a construction team dug up 3 unmarked graves behind a half-built mansion at Independence Layout, what they unearthed wasn't bones, it was a curse, wrapped in silence, sealed with guilt. From that night, the town of Enugu would never sleep the same again. It began on a humid Thursday evening. The construction lights hummed against the night as men dug into red soil. Chuka, the site engineer, was restless. His instincts told him something wasn't right about this land. Boss, one of the workers called, we don't touch something. Oh. Chuka rushed over. Beneath the soil lay 3 old wooden boxes, rotting, uneven, and bound with rusty chains. Make we open 'em. Another worker asked, eager. Chuka frowned. Tufiokwa. You want open coffin for night? They all laughed nervously, but nobody moved away. Enugu men are brave until the spirits start whispering. By midnight, curiosity won. The boxes were dragged out and lined beside the half-built foundation. The air turned cold. The first box creaked open, revealing a wedding gown, perfectly folded, spotless white, untouched by time. A note lay on top, till death do us part, Addis. In the second box, 2 tiny children's shoes, polished and clean. A faded photograph of a woman holding twin boys. The third box was almost empty, except for a blood-stained rosary. Chuka's voice trembled. No, who go bury cloth and rosary like this? Before anyone could answer, a shadow stepped out from the darkness, an old woman, thin, graceful, dressed in mourning black. Her hair, white like ash. I did, she said softly. Everybody froze. Even the crickets went silent. She was Mama Ifeoma, the landlady who sold them the land. For weeks she had watched them build, silent from her balcony. Madam, what is this? Chuka asked, his voice cracking. She smiled sadly. You have dug up what should have stayed buried. Those graves belong to my past. To my sin. 40 years earlier, the same plot of land had been a grand mansion, Mama Ifeoma's family home. Her husband, Pa Aneo, was a powerful coal merchant, wealthy, respected, feared. But behind closed doors, he was cruel. He took in a young maid named Addis, barely 18. Within months, she was pregnant. When Mama Ifeoma found out, she begged her husband to send the girl away. He refused. He claimed the girl's children were gifts from God. Jealousy brewed like poison. One night, when rain and thunder filled the sky, a scream broke through the storm. By morning, the mansion had burned down, 3 bodies inside, Addis and her twin boys. No police, no pastor, no burial rites. Only silence. The next dawn, Mama Ifeoma buried 3 coffins behind the ruins. No one asked questions. And the land was left to rot. Years passed. She built churches, donated to widows, gave to orphans. But she never built on that land again, until now. Back in the present, the ground started to shake. The air smelled of smoke and ashes. The wedding gown inside the coffin began to move, lifting, twisting as if something invisible wore it. The rosary in the third box rattled and cracked. The air grew colder. Suddenly, 3 figures shimmered above the graves, a woman in white holding the hands of 2 small boys. Their eyes were hollow. Their smiles, terrifying. Addis' voice echoed like wine through an empty church. You promised us peace, Mama Ifeoma. The old woman fell to her knees, tears streaking her face. I built a church for you. I gave to the poor. I tried to wash my hands clean. Addis' ghost whispered, you watched us burn. The workers screamed and scattered. Some leaping over the fence, others crawling on their bellies. Only Chuka stayed, frozen in horror. Thunder cracked. Lightning struck the mango tree beside them. When the flash cleared, the ghosts were gone. The graves were sealed. Mama Ifeoma lay lifeless, her eyes open, clutching the rosary that had been in the third coffin. The next morning, police arrived. No one could explain what happened. The graves were gone, the boxes gone, and the soil was smooth like nothing had ever been dug. The workers swore they'd seen spirits. Some quit construction, others fled Enugu entirely. Chuka stayed behind, haunted by what he'd seen. At night, he heard whispers outside his window, sometimes children's laughter, other times a woman singing a wedding song, soft, broken, echoing from the wind. 2 weeks later, Chuka moved to Nsukka for a new contract. He tried to forget, but the memory refused to fade. One rainy night, his phone rang. Unknown number, hello. A soft female voice answered, Engineer Chuka. He sat up. Who be this? You forgot to fill one grave, the voice whispered. His stomach knotted. What do you mean? Static. Then laughter, 2 children laughing in the background. Come back to Enugu, the voice said. We are waiting. The line went dead. He turned slowly to his window. There, on the wet red soil outside, were 3 small footprints, 2 tiny, one larger, leading away from his door toward the road, Thunder Road. His phone buzzed again, this time a message. It was a photo, the construction site in Enugu, freshly dug, with a new open grave. Waiting, Chuka stared at the photo, trembling. On the screen, he zoomed in, and saw something horrifying, inside that open grave. Was his own ID card, half buried in the mud. He dropped the phone. The light flickered. Outside, someone knocked 3 times. Talk. 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 He turned slowly toward the door. Who's there? He whispered. A voice answered softly, from behind the door. Adis. The lights went out.